It's the Bacon, Egg, and Cheese Show with Lady Love, Bad Bunny, and I go by Miss Lissa. We gon' wake that ass up. Alright, it's the Bacon, Egg, and Cheese Show, and Cheese Show. Let me give you what you need, yo. You need, yo. Every 3 times a week, yo. A week, yo. It's the Bacon, Egg, and Cheese Show, and Cheese Show.
Yeah, bacon, egg, and cheese, about to wake that ass up. Girl, who is you playing with? Wake that ass up. Told your big daddy when you wake your ass up. Yo, what is you waiting for? Wake that ass up.
After we do the show, then stop. Then what? Subscribe it like it's hot. After we do the show, then stop. Now what? Subscribe it like it's hot. Now subscribe it like it's hot. Now subscribe it like it's hot. BEC, so subscribe it like it's hot. So subscribe it like it's hot. So subscribe it like it's hot. BEC, so subscribe it like it's hot. So subscribe it like it's hot. Subscribe it like it's hot.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the intelligent, the genius, the ground setter, the trendsetter, the groundbreaker, Mims in the building.
You luck, what up? I didn't need that type of intro, but I appreciate it, though. I appreciate you. I appreciate you all for having me on, for sure.
You, my guy, introduce you. So this is Miss Lissa. I don't know if you guys met before because she interviews everybody. So Miss Lissa, media mogul, media maven. She's intelligent. She's a genius in her own right. This is Brooklyn Babs Bunny, making the band, queen of the ring, actress, all kind of things. And ladies and gentlemen, this is Mims.
We here.
Thank you for coming
What's
to the
up,
show,
ladies?
Pause.
Oh, no, thank you for having me, ladies. I appreciate it. I appreciate it for sure.
This is my guy. This is my guy, not only, you know, because I'm a fan of his music, but I've just seen Mims everywhere. You know, and like shit, I see him in the parking lot of the Walmart out here in Jersey. I mean, Mims, and he's always working, he's always grinding, and it's so encouraging and inspirational because, you know, he's like, yo, I got this record, I got this hit record, but you know what, look, yo, I'm going all over the place. And I remember when he first started off with what app was it? It was the remix app. What was it?
So I had an app called U Remix that's kind of how it got me introduced into the whole tech space and the tech world, and that was like my first shot at building something. Bootstrapping is what we call in the tech space. So basically taking your money out your own pocket and putting it into the space, and then I transitioned into obviously building another app called the Creator app, and then eventually I got into like this whole blockchain wave, and now I'm kind of like on the metaverse wave. So, you know, I've been, as tech has been progressing, I've been able to like just stay on top of it all and just be a part of everything new that's coming out.
Smart. Well, I'm pretty sure that we want to start from the beginning of your career. So let what you know.
How did you get your start in the industry? Like, how did you get into music?
Wait, Miss Lissa, wait. Let's give him the good, you know. Let's give him the good. Let's get the instruments going before we get, you know what I mean? Because we definitely saw you getting the bag. You went viral this last week. You was getting the bag with those guys, all right? If we play the instruments, so they don't shut us down. So we play instruments.
Okay, you got it.
This is why I'm hot, and this is why you not.
Okay.
This is why I'm hot. You bitches didn't pop. What happened?
Humongous
I was
record.
doing her rap hands, and it was.
Oh, you had her back. You had her back.
Yeah, I was with it. I was like, get him, kill him, Babs.
Oh man.
No, first of all, shout out to you, Babs, because I be seeing you everywhere too. Like you definitely, you know, made an imprint doing your thing. So shout out to you for sure. Cause
thank you, I appreciate it. But I'm trying to lock in with you with this new meta shit. You know,
Yeah.
this new tech shit. I need my son to learn it. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause he got to start off early. My son is 7, and I need him to bring home the bag for me, cause I don't want to do nothing. Okay, he owe me.
I'm about to put y'all on just a couple of gems.
Babs Jackson.
All right, it's the best. So let's listen, take it.
How did you get your start in the industry? Where did you find your love for music?
Man, I mean, my story is kind of it's a little all over the place, but the real reason why I got into music when I was younger, so my mom and my father passed away when I was younger. So my father passed when I was 11, my mother passed when I was 13. But right before my mother passed away, she bought me two turntables and a mixer, and I kind of got introduced into DJing because like the month that she passed away, you know, going back into the house, you know, dealing with the mourning process. And I just dived into like music. That was like my outlet, you know, just becoming started off doing a DJ thing first. And then eventually, as you like listening to music, play on record players, I wanted to learn how to make the beats, and then got into the production side, then the writing side, and eventually became an artist. So that's kind of how my mission started. But the starving artist period was like, I want to say like 90. When I first said, you know what, let me pursue music as a career, and then I left going to school behind.
Well, great.
That was like 99, 2000, and then you know, my career obviously didn't pop until like I think 05 or 06.
What grade did you leave high school?
Well, not high school. Actually, I finished high school.
Okay.
I was supposed to go. So shout out to anybody who's
the first
like,
college dropout.
I was the first college dropout.
I was thinking Kanye when he telling his story too.
Nah, I was supposed to go to believe it or not, I was supposed to go to Hofstra University. So shout out to anybody in LI that knows where Hofstra's at. And I decided to go to Nassau instead. And then I did one semester at Nassau. I was like, you know what, I can't do this. I gotta you know, pursue this music thing. So yeah. So from that point to like 06 was my starving artist period, where, you know, stomach touching your back, out there grinding everywhere you needed to be, every event you needed to be at, you know, shaking every hand you had to shake. So and then you know, for me, I had a good team, to be honest with you. Like, so for those, you know, who understand the music, and all of you guys obviously do on here, sometimes really when you want situations to move the right way, you gotta you know, have a great team behind you.
Agreed.
That's very important.
Yeah.
How did you develop your team? Like, how did you find these people? Were these like Kanye, the people that you grew up with, or did you have like a casting? Like, let us know. How do we find our team and build our teams?
Bitch, you got me already.
You're a different part of my team. I'm looking for the development of the back end of the team.
I know
I'm
what you
looking
mean.
for more management, publicists, type of people, assistant.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the Bacon, Egg, and Cheese Show as well. If you're a content creator, we are looking to build our team. Please email the BECshow@gmail.com and put in the subject line, what is your interest? And don't forget that resume and potentially a reference. Back to you, Mims.
Nice plug. I like that. Nah, you know what? I feel like when, you know, what I tell artists, especially, you know, the ones nowadays, is that, you know, you got to kind of look at yourself as an entity. You know, when I first got in the music game, I signed like a production deal with a company who I have no gripes with them. They did what, you know, they tried to do what they wanted to do, but it just didn't work out. And then coming out of that, I said I had to put things in my hand a little more. So I decided to create my own entity and become my own boss. And then surround myself around people, you know, kind of like a chessboard, surround myself around people who are good and skilled at certain things. So, you know, anywhere from a street team all the way to, you know, radio, people pushing my records at radio, obviously to upstreaming to a record label, and then being surrounded by a lot of people at the label. So anybody out there that's really I want to say there's no blueprint for success other than hard work, you know, and determination. But you definitely got to surround yourself with the right pieces. If you know that you're not good at, you know, talking or going out and networking, and you want to make sure that if you got a manager or some type of representation, that they're good at doing that for you. And you know, I think I found a great formula. I had some you know, both of my business partners, they came from a radio background. So when it came to pushing and promoting records, we went straight on at radio with records. Like, yo, this is a hit, play this. And, you know, they didn't play a lot of it, but the one that they did made it
went crazy. Shout out Rob Love in the comments. That's what Rob Love does.
Yeah.
Who
the
did
king
that
of radio
beat?
promo.
Who did that beat?
That's my next question.
Shout to DJ Blackout. So DJ Blackout actually produced that record. He cost me a lot of money with the samples, but if it wasn't for the samples, it wouldn't have worked out. So he's the one who actually had the idea to put all the samples in there as well.
Wait, so there's a sample in that record?
Especially that Kanye sample.
I got 4 samples, and I'm gonna tell you, it's crazy. If you listen to the record, it's 4 of the biggest hip hop record samples you could imagine. So we had Mobb Deep, we had Nothing But a G Thing. I know Dre and Snoop. We had the Kanye Jesus
when you
Walks.
did the little clips, when you cut
when
the
I'm
clips.
in the shot, they like my
Okay,
shot.
because I was like, that beat don't sound like no sample. Yo, shout out Cat Stacks in the comments. She's leaving. She got so much love. She said, "Mims found my new page." Yeah, Cat Stacks. She's in the comments. But okay, that's the part because I'm sitting here like I know that beat. So then what label were you on that pushed the record? Like, how did that happen?
So we started independently. I mean, we had a record label called American King Music that myself, my partner CL from DigiWax and Eric Mendelson. We started out. Yeah, shout out to DigiWax. We started out independently. Then we did an upstream deal with a company called UBO, which really at the time was a reggaeton based company. And they dropped a little bit of a bag on me to push a record. And then eventually we decided to push the This Is Where I'm Hot record. And then we did an upstream deal with EMI. So EMI Capital Records at that time.
So I ask everybody who comes on the show, everybody, like, what was the moment that hit you like, wow, I'm on? Was it when you heard the song on the radio or when you heard somebody else playing it? Like, what was that moment for you that you knew that you've made it?
Yo, it's wild because if I run back around that time, everything's a blur because you're moving so fast.
Yeah.
So like the record we put out in 2006, it was the #1 record in the country 2007, like March of 2007. And I remember I was in LA. I don't know if I was probably at like, I don't want to say like Nobu or one of these restaurants. And my radio rep at the time, Paula Tuggy, she pulled out a plaque saying that I had the #1 record in the country.
Crazy.
And at that point in time, I was like, wow, like, I think we did Jimmy Kimmel. We did, Jay Leno was in New York, but we did Jay Leno. So when you start doing those type of shows, like
that's
doing
big.
Good Morning, yeah, it's like, okay,
big.
cool. I crossed over a little bit. So
see, Mims, like there's a difference when you have a hit record and you got a smash hit record. And This Is Why I'm Hot is what I appreciate about the song. It's such a timeless record. Yeah. And what else I love about the record, it's a clean record. So I wouldn't mind playing that at the church barbecue. I could play it in the club. The girls is gonna dance to it. They're gonna dance on me, baby. But that's what I appreciate about the record. What's the biggest concert that you've done? We had Mad Lion. He said he was down in Brazil and they went crazy. Like, what was the biggest concert you felt like you've done?
For me though, personally, it was Summer Jam. Right, so like, because you remember coming from New York, it's the Summer Jam is like that iconic. The only thing that I haven't done that to me would be more iconic is playing at the Garden, but playing at, I think it was not MetLife at the time, it was Giant Stadium at the time before they changed over, and being able to play in front of like I want to say like 40,000 people in your city.
In your city.
Yeah, that's, to me, you can't. I mean, I've done some amazing festivals, some amazing concerts around the world. But doing it in your city is a big deal. So definitely for me, Summer Jam.
What was the biggest festival? Like what was one where they don't even speak English, but they all this is why I'm hot, like.
Shout out to my homie Bad C. I did a show in Sweden at a festival called Energy, so NRG, and I want to say it looked like it had to be like maybe 60,000-70,000 people in attendance. Going crazy, and I remember after the show, they put me in one of these little smart cars, and the people were literally like trying to tilt the car over just to get inside. So that was probably like a real great experience too.
Michael Jackson moment.
Exactly.
Shout out to my cousin Antonio in the building. Y'all wanted to ask, because you know me, I'll just keep asking questions. I be envisioning everything.
But I wanted to get into as far as what you doing now, because I seen you had like a little BET that did something on you. I had watched that a while ago. I seen it on YouTube, and I was like, "Oh, this nigga getting money." And so at the end of the day, coming from the industry, when you have a big record like that, you know what I'm saying, and then everybody knows you at the top, shit pop, and then shit ain't like that no more, and then you gotta find your next lane, because I definitely experienced that. And so I'm always looking for a new lane, which is the meta. And at the end of the day, After this show, I'm definitely going to hit you because I want to lock in, because I know you're doing a lot of things outside of the music industry that, you know, I would like to know. And it's a lot of artists that had these big records that can relate. Like, for instance, one of my band members, Freddie P, had just released a video where he was talking about all the struggles that he went through after, you know, being at the top and then going back to the bottom and trying to find your way and feeling like it's hard for him to go out and get a regular job, and people, you know, harassing you. Oh, what you doing working here? Wasn't you on making the band? Didn't you ever deal with Puff? And that humiliation and that embarrassment that he said that he didn't want to go through. So for somebody like you that was able to, you know, reinvent yourself in a whole nother lane and actually be successful, your knowledge and your wisdom will be very, you know, good for people that's experiencing things like that, because there's so many of them.
Yeah, so I mean, here's the truth, right? So I got frustrated with the music industry. So the reason why I transitioned into tech in the first place is because of my frustration for how record labels handle artists and how, you know, how we usually end up getting the short end of the stick. And 2012, I remember. Well, I'll even take you back. I had what you call a true partnership deal with my record label, which means that it's pretty simple. It's not royalty based, because royalties can get real complicated. It's, you know, if $10 million comes in, you minus the expenses and you split it 50-50 with your label. And I remember getting my first check, which was like 30 grand or like, you know, some crazy number like that. And I had just grossed about $15 million for the record label. And I'm like, well, how is this possible? But I realized, like, whoever collects the money 9 times out of 10 has the power. And I got so frustrated with the music industry that I decided on my own to walk away. Like, I was like, you know what? I'd rather make music in my basement and keep it for myself than to go out there and work my ass off and generate all of this money so that someone else could benefit from it.
Right.
So the reason why I got into technology in the first place is because my main goal was just to create technology that helped artists, you know, like a utility. So anything that I wanted to create was just something that an artist or aspiring artist could take and make and be creative with doing it, and not have to either A, pay a lot of money to do it, or B, have the knowledge that they need to know how to do certain things. So that was my passion. And then so when I started getting into the tech space, what I realized is one, there was not a lot of African Americans in the space to begin with, especially not from a creative standpoint. And then two, being an artist, no one took me seriously, right? So like it was more like, oh, let me bring up the record. He you know, multi-platinum musician. Let me take a picture with you. But they didn't take what I was doing seriously enough. We decided to do a competition for TechCrunch and ended up winning the competition. And then that was like the first time that I knew that that my ideas were relevant enough to you know, change the culture. And now doubling back, when you start talking about the pitfalls of music, right? When people don't collect the amount of money that they need to collect, there has to be people like us, right, that understand the business, that go out and really try to change the narrative. So I usually like to preach to artists on the up, you know, on the come up, that before you sign with a record label, think about your options. Think about all the other things that you could possibly be doing. You know, there's artists out there that are releasing NFTs, that have done NFTs. For those who you know don't know what that wave is, a non-fungible token where you basically take something that you can create and attach it to the blockchain, more or less, and they're creating these things and making money off of it. So I start seeing that as a pattern in technology, and that there's a pattern between technology and music. And I really just try to be at the forefront of it, or at least be the creator to push the culture forward. Right now, as it stands, there's a lot going on in technology that can help artists, you know, progress. So we talked about the NFT, we talked about the metaverse, like, which is something that you're interested in. Another cool thing is I'm doing play to earn gaming right now. So I know that sounds like a question mark.
Right?
No, the kids need it. Yo, shout out real quick. Shout out Young Guru in the comments. Guru, we got to pull you up on this show too, and Young Chop Beats. You guys are here all the time, you know. But Young Guru, man, you got such a big history with it. But pay to play. So, that sounds like what the girls used to tell me in the club. Tell me about it.
What play to earn is simply is your ability to play video games and earn money. That's it. I mean, earn crypto by playing video games. And there's a lot of people out there that are earning a decent salary by playing video games while sitting at home. So these little things that I'm starting to learn that exist in the space that we tend to always want to chase what everybody else is chasing, and we're not really focused on the newer part of technology and new things. So there's a lot that I could say right now. There's a lot of like gems I could give out, but I don't want to like
Nah. They gotta pay for that. You just give it to me. You know what I'm saying? But
I will say,
you know what I'm saying? Real quick, let me say this real quick. I think that that's fire, because at the end of the day, I know a lot of people that sit at home. They're really good at these games and spend hours on these games. And I even had told my girlfriend, I was like, yo, we got to try to figure out how you can make some money off playing these games. If you watch some of them on YouTube, like my son, he just sit there and watch these motherfuckers play games, and they making money.
That's the new era.
Off of YouTube online. They got the people, they play the game, and the kids, they go back and say, oh, how I get off this board. And then they go watch them. They just sit there, eat their snacks, and watch these motherfuckers play games. They got 1 million subscribers, and they getting all of this money. And so now they got these coding classes for these kids now. Some you got to pay, some are free. But I be telling my son, he's always on his tablet down. I'm like, yo, you better make a game. You got to get into this. And so what you doing is fire. And also not just for the up and coming artists, for the older artists who didn't have the opportunity to get. It was no social media back then. There was no YouTube and iTunes and all of these independent ways that they could do it. We had Koch, and they made people feel like they was bums if you were signing the Koch. If you was independent, they like, oh, you fell off. That's for the niggas that fell off. When they was getting all the money, now everybody want to be Koch. Everybody want to be independent. And so for all the older artists, they could learn something from you and be able to get some money and maybe change their life in a whole new lane. I think that that's fire.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of what you're saying too is like we end up being our own downfall when it comes to like how we support even the older artists and how we support the newer artists. We end up like as a culture, we end up being our own downfall because.
Can we call them legacy artists? Can y'all not say older artists?
The legends.
I like the legacy artists. I like that.
I don't know where I fit, and I don't want to be the older artist. So go ahead.
Well, here's the truth. I'm gonna tell you where you fit. Right. Here's the truth. Right. The truth about hip hop as a culture is that it was so brand new to everybody that we don't have the same history as rock and roll. We don't have the same history as jazz music. So we're starting to build it now, which is why you have contemporary radio stations that are popping up that are playing, legacy artist music, and people are still living. I just did, like, before the pandemic, I started doing these tours, and people could laugh what they want, but I started doing these tours, and it would be like I did a couple with Ja Rule and Ashanti, because they out there doing that thing, and I realized that we're packing out arenas by doing this. People still coming out 20,000 plus just to hear that nostalgia of music from that era. So hip hop as a culture is still being written, and we got to stop writing off people just because you don't see them in the public eye, because that doesn't mean that they don't exist to somebody out there that may have been their favorite song, that got them through a rough patch. So I'm one to believe that the culture's still being written, and there's no such thing as falling off, or there's no such thing as, I've heard it my whole career, the whole one-hit wonder thing. I feel like because we're still being written as a culture, we got to stop doing that to our own kind, and we got to start bigging up just like they do with rock and roll, because them rock and roll cats be touring until they're 99 years old.
Yeah, I said that recently.
Go ahead.
I said that recently. One of the things that I hate that I see on Instagram, and it's only in our community, we'll have 4 comedians, or we'll have 4 great movies, or we'll have 4 food selections, and they say one of them have to go. My family is the Sugar Hill Gang. I scream it to the top of the mountains. Back in the day, I was very ashamed. But my uncle used to tell me, all you need is one hit. That's all you need, because that right there will fuel you. And somebody wrote in the comments earlier, at least you were able to do that, because there's people who've been doing it. This is our dreams. Like, you're still Mims, you know, your real name, that's still Babs. We still grew up wanting to do this. So then when we get there, our idea of success may not have be like, you know, what somebody else had achieved or something like that. But Mims, you, with this one hit, you're touring more than people who sold 1 million albums. And you're still relevant and doing your thing more than people who, you know, we talked about this with Remy. It's like, yo, once you find your lane, you're blessed to continue to still eat, regardless of in what way it is. None of us is going to get 9 to 5s. You get what I'm saying? It's a complete blessing.
Let me tell you something. These as artists, we want a hit. You got artists that have multiple albums and they never had a big hit record. So at the end of the day, when you got one of those, and so like you said, Mims, when you did that show and you was like, wow, it's packed. I did one of them shows. They had me come out. It was MOP. It was a bunch of people on this bill. And so the building was packed, right? And so I get on the stage and then I start performing and I'm like, oh shit. And after I got off, it was an artist that said something to me. He said, Babs, you got one. And when you got one, which is the Bad Boy this, Bad Boy that record. So he was like, that feeling is crazy to have one that when that beat dropped and the crowd
people go
like,
crazy.
Oh!
Yeah.
Like, so at the end of the day, we got one, nigga. We
Absolutely.
got one.
I ain't have one. I'm still riding off of other shit. I'm riding off fumes over here. One thing that I love about Mims is that he has always been humble and always willing to help. Like, I spent hours with him with this app. We'll talk about that another time. But Mims will sit on the phone with you. He will connect you with his people. And I don't know if it's because he's so rich or because he's so loving, but he doesn't have an ulterior motive. Yeah. So y'all know what I'm trying to say. So if Babs, like, you linked up with him, you know, sometimes I get tongue-tied. I'm a lesbian. But, you know, so Babs, if you really linked with him, or Miss Lissa, you know, anything that we come to Mims with, like, when he has time, he's not sitting around all day twiddling his thumbs, but he's definitely humble enough to be like, yo, this is how you do it. And he will connect you with his people. And when he hooked me up with his people, I had somebody on the left trying to charge me a lot of money. Mims was like, yo, they're bugging. And we could get it done for this. I'm not saying it's cheap. Okay, I'm not saying he's doing it for crackhead prices. I'm just simply saying the amount of attention that he'll give and just dropping jewels is very hard to find that with other people, and especially in our community.
You know what I want to see though, because I'll be out there waving the flag around for, you know, because my fight right now is and I don't want to use like the whole black versus white inclusion thing, but the world I'm in, it's not a lot of us, and you know. I had this discussion with one of my business partners yesterday because we advise for a lot of companies in the you know, the metaverse space and the crypto space, and rarely do I ever see like you know, black faces on the board or black faces from an advisory standpoint, and when you do, it's usually there to tick or check a box. And I said to myself, here's the problem, right? You know, to me, the biggest issue is that our culture has been for sale forever, right? So everybody, whether it's on our side or on the outside, right? So here's a problem I had, right? I'll give you an example. When companies that I know have billions of dollars to spend say, let's go out and get an artist, they never use equity as a conversation. They always say, well, let's give them a check. And the reason why is because our culture has been so convinced that taking that check is always okay, that they take it each and every time, and they never want to discuss an equity play, which is why we end up never having anything. We should have ownership in Instagram. We should have ownership in Facebook. We should have ownership in all the apps that entertainment, that they use our entertainment to help and promote, instead of just taking a check. Because we're not talking a million. You know, I know everybody wants to get to $1 million, and it's cool. But we talking, these people out there got billions, if not going on trillions of dollars at this point. You know? So when I see these companies out there, and the reason why I'm so quick to help people understand what I'm doing is because I can't do it by myself. So Luck, with your idea, first of all, I'm not gonna put it out, but it's an amazing idea. And honestly,
we're gonna talk, Mims, because
we gonna talk, because I'm on in. She not cutting me out of shit. So
you cut me out.
I'm
your
gonna say this.
We go to no, I didn't, bitch. You could be playing. Lady.
We had Snoop on here. We had Sire on here. We had Remy on here. She told everybody, "Yo, I got this movie idea. I need you in this movie." She told Sire she need a light-skinned lesbian rapper, and we do this show 3 times a week.
Oh man.
I'm sorry, bro. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Nah, but I'm just saying we, I can't do it on my own. I want to see us win, and the truth, there's so many dope plays out there that I don't want to. I'm not here to sell the culture more than I am just to get it in the right places to make sure we got equity with what we're giving away, so that if we're giving it away, we're building on top of it as well.
That's why I stopped going on Clubhouse. I went on Clubhouse like 3 times. I said, yo, who's getting paid for this shit? Everybody up here just talking, giving away all this free content. I'm like, yo, why are we giving away all this free content? I can't give it to all these Instagram, Facebook, and then they got everything connected, so they want you to share all the free content.
I never did it. You know what it was for me with Clubhouse? I remember when I initially got on Clubhouse, it's a young lady named Felicia Booker. Now, Felicia had introduced me to Clubhouse because that's where she had got her startup money from, because she went from music industry to doing tech as well. She has an app out right now. So she was like, look, the idea, same idea I was telling you about, Mims, and, we'll talk later. She was like, yo, Luck, come on here, come into these rooms. So initially when I went there, it was just these type of rooms going on, people talking about money and how to do, whoop, whoop, whoop. Then everybody started sending the invite out. And then the day that Kevin Hart came on there, like a week or 2 later, if that, now they evaluated for $1 billion. So that's when I stopped going on there. Then that's when I said, hey, man, we are giving away way too much power. You get what I'm saying? And it might not even be a black or white thing. It might be a culture thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not black or white. It's culture. It's
because there's a lot of African Americans who may not be into the things that we are, the things that's popular. There might be Caucasians who are. I would say it's the culture that we're selling short, and the people not really realizing their power. But also, I cannot stop giving you your flowers, Mims, and telling you how much it means to me that, like, when I pick up the phone, bro, I call him. I got this idea. Woo, amazing. I'll be high as a motherfucker. And he said, look, this is what we got to do. Da, 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 da. So he's always there, always able to teach. So what's the next move for Mims? Like, wait, time out. Do you still do music? Like, do you still record? Because I know you said you ain't just giving it out. Like, do you still do, I still got it.
Yo, you know what? If I'll dibble and dabble. I feel like music is so, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm just, the sound of music is different from what I hear out there, that I think I'm waiting to see where my lane goes, right? So like obviously there's still a lane. Like I said, I'm still doing shows. I'm actually flying out to Dubai tomorrow to do a show. So like
just talk your shit.
I know, right? So there's still a lane, but that audience, we got to figure out how to like capture that audience and make sure that it's there. Because I mean honestly, I don't want to compete with the younger artists. I want to praise the younger artists, let them do what they do. And for me, it's more about positioning, right? So I look at technology as a way or means to get music out there. So if I'm putting a project together, it's probably going to be strictly for the metaverse. It's going to be strictly a digital project. It's strictly going to be for fans or people who are in that world who understand the value of it. And I'm okay with that. It may not be the millions of people that once listened to my music in the past. And here's the truth. I check my Spotify numbers every month. They're not bad. I check my Apple Music numbers every month. They're not bad. So I know there's an audience out there for it. But for me, I want to concentrate on that niche audience where I can just say, hey, for those guys that support me, even if it's 1,000 people, I want to do something special for y'all. So the answer to that is, I do, but just for them.
And before we let you go, we know that you're doing so much right now. We got Crooked Eye in the building. We got Crook coming up next. We got some questions for him. But if people want to reach out to you, or if people want to support, or if people want to, how do they get in touch with you, or what do you suggest that they do?
Yeah, I'm a ghost when it comes to social media, so I know my joint never looks right. But like hit me in the DM. It's a little bit easier to go there to have a one-on-one combo.
I'm the gatekeeper. Hit me if you want to get in touch with Mims. I'm gonna filter everything.
Can Luck give me your number?
Absolutely, back for sure, 100%. Let's build.
All right.
For sure, for sure.
We do the group chat. Well, we thank you for joining the Bacon, Egg, and Cheese Show. He tell me, look, I got this going on, I got that, but I'll do it for you. And I mean, I just have such a warm spot in my heart for him because I remember running down on Mims with my CD. He like, look, you still doing music? I said, you not lucky. I said, no, I'm just kidding.
What is wrong with you? You still in the studio?
Look, what are you doing outside with CDs? I'm rich. Look, come on this side. So, no, I definitely appreciate you, man, for pulling up, man. Me and Babs is on your head later on today, man. Thank you so much for
Hit me.
the Bacon, Egg, and
Hit
Cheese
me.
Show.
I'm here. Thank you.
We love you. We love you, man. Sure. Thank you, brother.
Love y'all.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got Crooked Eye in the building.
Hey. How y'all doing?
Let me tell you, we was in Florida this weekend. We was in Florida
plan?
this weekend, and I kept looking at him. I said, 9 a.m. your time, 9:30, going back. And you know, my brother right here, he lived through all the time zones. Because every time you see Crook, he's overseas, he's here, he's there. You know, shout to Hip Hop DX in the building. Get Bars apps. Y'all definitely got that's Instagram's app. Y'all gotta go over there and rap. But Crook, what's up, man? You got an album dropping. I wanted to ask him so many questions when I was with him. I said, I'm going to just wait until we get here. And
you are the talk of the town.
Well, I didn't want to ask that. Wait, can we start? Can we start with my one question?
Listen.
Wait. I wanted to ask about Snoop buying Death Row. That's what I had wanted to ask about. Because when we were together, I wanted to ask you, like, yo, because I know that's where your career started. That's when you and I had first got introduced to each other. You were still on Death Row.
Right. Yeah, nah, that's a big move. I really, that he has the catalog and that he has, the brand and all that. It's full circle. It's fitting, for his career journey to come all the way back 360 and be able to own the company that, he helped build, the house he helped build. Now he got the deed to that house. And I just think that is dope. And I see that he's in the NFT world. He's hanging around with Gary Vee and people that are real smart in that space. I just think it's a beautiful thing, and I think we need more moguls over here on the West. I know the East, y'all get to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like I know we get to it, but I feel like when I think that we need some names from the West Coast that we can add with the hip hop moguls. You know what I mean? And I think he just solidified that. So I'm really proud of that, man. Plus, he's from my city, Long Beach.
So I need to get into this days because this is my guy. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about MySpace days. So like Crook, I want to know like Crook, because so weird. I bring all my friends up here on the shows and I get to ask them questions that I don't ask on the text message or on the phone because I just feel like it's weird. But like, how did you get your start into the music industry? Like, how did you start doing music? This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to pursue.
I was born into it. You know what I'm saying? My mom was a songwriter. And, she lived a life of ups and downs. Sometimes it was good. Sometimes she was a struggling artist. And she used to tell me that she put headphones on me, on my her stomach when she was pregnant with me. You know what I mean? So I was just born into a musical household. You know what I mean? And it just made sense. It's the family business, to be in the music business. And I started doing my thing, freestyling, getting my buzz up. We worked the corners, getting your mixtape covers pressed up at Kinko's and Staples, you know what I mean? And all this other stuff and trying to get, out the trunk vibes, you feel me? And hitting up all the talent showcases and doing battles and doing ciphers and just trying to just explode with the talent on the scene and spit for anybody who would listen. You know what I'm saying? And that's basically how I got my start. It's just really from the ground up, organic, grassroots, and coming from a family that was already, loving the music business.
Now, I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea about me. Please, you ladies and gentlemen, do not take this the wrong way. But the West Coast artists sometimes are not known for lyricism. There's very select few. It's like, yo, this guy's nice. This guy's nice, like you and Jag. And that's why people love the game, because sometimes people are different. What's up, Bishop Conti? But like you, even today, Bab's like, oh, you on the record with Crooked. I hope he ain't beat your ass on it. So how did it come from, like the East Coast the East Coast is normally known for lyricism. So how was it for being out there and doing your thing to being known with your pen, which is absolutely crazy?
Yeah, thank you very much. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that. Yeah, it was a hard ride. You know what I mean? It was a hard ride trying to get even some of my own homies like, yo, you making it hard on yourself with all these, just with, you know, stick it to your craft like that. You need to dumb it down, man. You could be the biggest thing moving on the West Coast, man. If you just, you know what I mean, make some songs that, you know, people don't got to think when they listen to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was hard for me in my own, you know, just locally. So it's a tough road. And I see a lot of these lyricists coming up on the West Coast right now, and they having a similar challenges. You know, I was really punching though, like, yo, we gonna get the world to understand that the West Coast got bars. You know what I mean? We gonna keep going. We not gonna stop. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't care if I gotta go to France, Germany, Italy, Japan. I'm gonna break the stage in half. You know what I mean? Like, that was my mentality. Like, we gonna show them. But what it was is we had our own culture. We had the Good Life Cafe, you know, where Ava DuVernay, she filmed her first documentary about that cafe. It was a freestyle spot, a historic spot in California, in LA, called the Good Life Cafe. We had Project Blowed over there at Leimert Park. These were all places where people came and freestyle bars, you know what I mean? Whether you was in a gang, you was a dope dealer, you was a college student, you was a high school student, you came to break down bars when you went to Leimert Park, you went to the Good Life Cafe. Talib Kweli said he caught a Greyhound bus all the way out here to California just to go to the Good Life Cafe because he heard about it, you know what I mean? Like, this was where the culture was buzzing, but that's not where the mainstream was buzzing. Hollywood wasn't looking at those lyricists and those spitters. Hollywood was looking at those guys who was, you know what I mean, saying something that was easier to digest. You know, I could understand this quicker. It's no problem. And, you know, the gangster shit, I'm hopping out my phone with my Chuck Taylors, it's palm trees, it's broads all around, I'm blowing on a good bag.
Hey,
I mean, that's a vibe. You know what I'm saying?
There.
That's a vibe. You can't deny that's a vibe. So, you know, we saying the same thing, but we just saying it with syllables and metaphors. You know what I'm saying? Right. But it was just Hollywood chose to put that on a bigger platform. Record labels chose to put that on a bigger platform, and it was a little tougher for guys like myself, Razzcast, you know what I mean? And, you know, the Bishop Lamonts and all of the people breaking down bars, you know, until people like Farside hit the scene, you know, and showed the West Coast through a different lens. You know what I mean? People like Hieroglyphics, you know what I mean? You know, 93 and Till, you feel me? So it's like, it took time. We kept chipping away. And, you know, by the time I made it to New York, I was like, damn, I'm gonna have to move out here. They love this shit.
How did you get linked up with Death Row? Like, how did that situation happen? I mean, I know it's the biggest label on the West Coast. I know that it's like maybe inevitable, but how did that happen with you guys?
Basically, you know, being from Long Beach, I was blessed. I didn't even know how blessed I was, you know what I mean? Because I'm just moving around. I'm a poor kid, you know, I'm 18, 17 years old, and I'm just moving around the city, you know, doing whatever I can to come up. I was homeless at the time and all this other shit. So I was blessed though, because just from being from Long Beach, me and Snoop and all these other guys, we either knew each other or we had mutual friends. So I was able to go into the studio at a young age and watch Snoop and the Dog Pound put together classics. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, now like, Corrupt is nice. Now Corrupt, you from Philly, so I'll let you claim the West Coast, but you're definitely an East Coast guy. But go ahead.
Yo, Corrupt, man. Wait, we gotta say California. You know what I mean?
All right, fine,
you know
fine.
You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, he did get some of, you know, his razzle dazzle over here.
He definitely got the action. One of the nicest. I watched Corrupt freestyle for hours. One of the nicest ever.
Corrupt is a beast, man. And you know, peace to Corrupt, because he was one of the guys who gave me my first shot. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But, yeah. So basically, you know, I was around. You know what I'm saying? And I was in those sessions. And I was simultaneously making my own name on the streets, you know what I mean? And doing what I was doing with the raps and whatever. And one day I was on Virgin first. That was my first record deal. I was on Virgin. You know what I'm saying?
I know about that.
Called New Tribe. Yeah, I was only there shortly. Somebody started embezzling and everybody got kicked off the label. But yeah, I went to Death Row because Suge was in the penitentiary at the time. He was serving that 6-year stint that he had, you know what I mean, for the Pockets incident in Vegas. And they kept on telling him, Crook the hottest one. You know what I mean? So it was like, all right. So, you know, I went up to Mule Creek prison facility to go sit with Suge, you know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
And you know, me and Suge talking. He at this point in his incarceration, he could have like visits where we could sit at the table together now, you know, contact visits, you know what I mean? So we sat at the table, and he's like, yo, I heard you the hottest on the streets right now in the West. And I'm like, well, shit, if you like it, I love it, you know what I mean?
Hey.
You know, it's all good, you know what I mean? Like, and he's like, yo, I could get you on the Billboard charts, I can get you Grammy nominations, I could get you touring the whole world. You know what I'm saying? You ready to put that death row chain on? You know what I mean? And I'm like, listen, dog, I care for nothing. I'm tired of risking my neck out here on these corners. Nigga, throw me that chain, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, yo, let's do it. We talked about contract and deal, you know, terms during prison visits. I would go up there and go see him, and we would talk about the deal terms and the things of that matter. And, you know, we knocked it out. And thank God I had a mentor, you know what I mean, who was a attorney, you know. So I didn't get jerked because my mentor was an attorney, you know what I mean. And he was Elijah. Shout out to Elijah, you know what I mean, from the Jordan Downs projects and Watts, went all the way to USC Law School. It made it happen. You feel me? Yeah, he was my mentor, and he would go over contracts with me as even before anybody was interested in me. He just was like, somebody gonna try to holler at you, crook. You know what you're doing. So you need to understand this and understand that. And that mentorship, you know, got me through the doors. And I signed with Death Row, and it was on. Everything that you could think of was popping. Whatever you think, it was that. Probably times 10. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I know that had to be an amazing feeling to you know, to do that, to go on tour with everybody, just to be around a lot of the greats. I can imagine. Like, what was one of the biggest shows that you did, or one of the biggest venues where you went and was like, oh shit, I'm on now?
We did Slane Castle in Ireland. It was 80,000 people there. We did that with him. You know what I'm saying? And you know, to look out in the crowd and see 80,000 people, it's so many people out there that they got like 4 jumbotrons on stage. They got one east, west, north, and south. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Just showing the artists on stage, because the people in the back can't see nothing. And to hear them, you know, screaming like you standing next to an airplane engine, you know, that energy is crazy. You know what I mean? And you overseas, you're on stage, you living your dream, and people are reciprocating your energy. It was crazy. That was one of the biggest. I mean, we did Japan, we did Korea, you know, we did Australia, we did Canada, you know what I mean? We did New Zealand. You feel me? Like,
amazing.
Man, this hip hop culture has taken me around the world so many times, and it's given me so much that I couldn't even fathom not giving something back to it. You feel me?
Yeah, I want to link you with Mims as well, because I know that you're involved with, you know, just the future of hip hop, and you've always been a pioneer. You've always been forward thinking. So, you know, Mims just text, you know, and I definitely want to link y'all, man. It's so much that, you know, we could do with everything.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. I'm with it.
Somebody just asked in the comments, because as a solo artist, we know that you are, you know, part of a situation, but as a solo artist, somebody just asking the question if Snoop, like, yo, hey bro, come home, would you entertain the thought? Would you entertained the thought? Or what do you feel about the new Death Row?
Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying, I got my own company, Circle of Bosses. That's what I've been, you know, we established that in 2004.
That hat was fire too. I didn't get one. I need one of those hats. But go ahead.
Hey, well, you know, we this the velvet joint, suede joint, I mean, but you know, come on now, you know, we got to wear our own brands. We putting too much money in these high designer people's pockets and all that. We got to start wearing things that we have equity in. But anyway, yeah, if Snoop was like, yo, you know, come back, if the deal is right. And when I say deal, I don't mean an artist deal. Look at me, I got grays in my beard. The artist deal, I'm far removed from doing artist deals. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It would have to be some sort of joint venture, you know, it would have to be some sort of ownership involved for my company, you know what I mean? It'd have to be some sort of ownership involved for me when it comes to the masters. And yeah, I would definitely do, because listen, man, Snoop, if it wasn't for Snoop, dog, half of Long Beach, it would have been real rough for Long Beach City to get into the I would say the business of rap music. You know what I'm saying? Snoop Dogg kicked that door open so far, so
kicked it
wide.
Off. Kicked it off.
Hey, look, let me tell you.
All right.
That dude, when he got on, and he first of all, he creeped with me when I crawled through the hood, and he acting the black Mr. Snoop Beast,
right?
The dust since a bus fuck.
187
we
was
like, wait a
I
minute.
was like, who is this guy?
Yeah, who is this with the what? That's Doggy Dog. That's Whoopty Whoop. Oh man, you know you all hype and shit, right? So you like, damn, and the song is stupid. The deep cover beat crazy. And all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
187 on the undercover, and he talking that talk.
Yeah.
So we like, all right, yeah, we love this. Boom, he come back with the the chronic drop, and he just making these guest appearances that are historic. You know what I'm saying?
And all that. Talk to
2, 3 into the 4. Snoop Doggy Dog. You know, it's like damn. Yeah, man. So it's like before I have to rip shit up, give me the microphone first so I can bust like a bubble.
Compton and Long Beach together, so you know we in trouble because they ain't nothing but a DJ,
baby.
Hey.
Yo, Crook, I ain't even gonna lie to you. We we do the show, and I'm able to see who's coming in the building and who's not. The blue checks. I try to shout people out, but the day it was our first show back. January 3rd, and when I seen Snoop Dogg join. Now normally, you're on Instagram, you might have somebody say Crooked Eye 459. You know what I'm saying? Or you might have Brooklyn Babs 333. So it's not them. So we had a guest on here and everything. I saw Snoop Dogg. I went in there and I said, that's the real Snoop Dogg. I don't even think I told the young lady goodbye. I said, boom, ladies and gentlemen, we got Snoop Dogg in the building. You know what I mean?
Hey,
and
man.
I told Crook that. I said, hey, you guys show up 9:30 a.m. You got no excuse. The biggest pot smoker in the world, Snoop Dogg, he was up. So whoever's on the West Coast, they can never give me no excuse. Hey, man, Snoop came on. All right, fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we definitely appreciate you, getting up, because I know that you guys got a lot going on. Yeah, it's very busy. You got an album dropping. I want to talk about whatever you want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to stick with the album, because everything is everywhere else, I'm cool with that too. Tell us about the new album.
March 11th, which is I guess Friday. Damn.
Okay, fine.
Coming out this Friday, you know what I'm saying? It's called The Rise and Fall of Slaughterhouse. And what it is it's like an audio documentary in my eyes of my perspective and Joel Ortiz's perspective of the things that happened while we were the group Slaughterhouse. You know what I'm saying? Now, I just needed some closure from the situation because
wait. Can we open it up before we close?
Open it up?
Can we open? Yeah. How did Slaughterhouse come about? Because that is 4 of the most amazing lyricists that I know of. In my opinion, Royce is better than M. But hey, that's me. So you guys, you have 4 of the best lyricists. How did the group come about?
Okay, the group came about with there was a joint that Joe wanted to do, he wanted to do a posse cut, so to speak. And he had Royce on there and Joel and Nino Bless, you know what I mean? And he wanted somebody from the West Coast to be on the joint. So Nino Bless told him, all right, I'll see you in a minute. Nino Bless told him, you need to get Crook on there. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out Nino Bless.
Shout out Nino Bless, So, I was breaking shit down over here on my side of the map. And Joe was like, for real, I guess. And Nino Bless sent him some stuff. And Joe was like, damn, I've been sleeping on Crook. You know what I mean? And he was like, can he turn it around in 24 hours? So Nino called me. And he was like, yo, I want you to get on this joint with Royce, me, Joel Ortiz, it's for Joe Budden's project. I'm sitting in the range thinking, man, I'm going to have to fire at Joe Budden and Royce, man. You know what I'm saying? They taking too much oxygen up with this lyricist conversation. I'm already like, man, because my little brother came up to me, and was like, you got to listen to the bar exam from Royce.
Yeah.
And I listened to the bar exam, and I was like, damn, he's spitting fire.
Yeah.
I'm like, nah, man. I'm trying to corner the market on this fire-breathing shit right now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting in the range like, nah, this ain't happening. I'm finna fire on these fools. And then when the call came, it was like, oh, well, I guess it's better to team up than to start, you know what I'm saying? Doing some bullshit, get on some bullshit. So I did the song, long story short, the song was called Slaughterhouse. And, you know, the fans enjoyed it a lot because each of our fan bases came together to celebrate the song. You know what I mean? And that's what made us say, well, hey, let's do another song. You know what I mean? And one song became another song, and the fans formed a group. So we like to say, well, I like to say the fans are the fifth member of Slaughterhouse.
Fire. And now I know that when I'm around other people, like let's say that I know that somebody else is in the room, you know, still sharp and still. So when writing songs with everybody, do you feel like you guys all sharpened each other lyrically? Because I know that listening to the album, you guys just go crazy with it. So do you feel like being with those guys definitely stepped your pen up?
Absolutely. You know, it took my pen into another area because, you know, on my own, I was more talking, I was like a street lyricist. You know what I mean? Talking about street life, sprinkles of consciousness, street consciousness, and just life in general. When I got over there, the focus became, oh, you could just go crazy. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, you know, they was like, oh, okay, well, damn, on certain songs, we could just go crazy. All right, cool. I'm about to go. Now we'll be playing with words even more. Right. You know what I'm saying? I was doing it in the past, but not to that level where it was just a constant thing. Like we might make fucking 5 songs where we ain't really said nothing but how ill we are. You know what I mean? So it was like, yo, that was a step up for me, you know, and I believe we all learn from each other. You know what I'm saying? You know, I hear my influences.
Of course,
you know,
of course, with everybody all across the board. That's what I said. Everybody's still sharp and still.
We all learn from each other. It was a still sharp and still.
Yeah.
You know?
So how was it? How did the situation get too shady? Like, how was it? Like, yo, we gonna sign. We the best rappers. We gonna sign with the best rapper. I mean, I don't know. My head would exploded being over there hearing all of these bars. So how did that work out?
Well, you know, it was we was on E1 at first. We did our first record on E1, and respectfully, E1 didn't really believe in us. You see what I'm saying? So what happened was they thought that they didn't understand that we had a lot of people with us. A lot of fans really liked our music, and they underestimated our release. Back then, it was hard copies still getting pressed up. They didn't press up enough hard copies, you know. They thought, oh, these guys will sell this amount. That amount was gone in 2 hours at all the stores, all the Best Buys. You know what I'm saying? And they realized it came like, yeah, we dropped the ball. We didn't know that you guys would be this, you know, have this impact. And we was like, all right, cool. We're going to dip out. You know what I mean? And I had this song DJ Khalil produced. DJ Khalil sent me a beat, and it was for my solo album, right? But I was working with Slaughterhouse at the time, and I was like, yo, I thought to myself, this song would be more impactful if I put the gang on it with me. You know what I mean? So I called Royce. I said, listen, I got this joint from DJ Khalil. I think it'll be good for the gang. I'm about to send it over to you. Check it out. He listened to it. He loved it. And we built this joint called The One. And The One was on the E1 album, but I'm talking about it because it's one of the songs that Marshall told me was part of his deciding factor to sign Slaughterhouse. He heard
Marshall,
that
call
song.
him Marshall. You just gonna call him Marshall casually?
Yeah.
That's what you do? Casually call him Marshall? Okay, heard
My
you.
bad.
It's a light stunt. It's a light stunt.
Light flex. Go ahead, light flex.
All right.
Yeah, he was like, yo, that song right there. He was like, because when I heard that song, I knew that y'all could all gas, but I didn't know that y'all could write songs like that. And he was like, that was very instrumental in his decision to sign Slaughterhouse, you know what I mean? And he had a pre-existing relationship with Royce. They had some bumpy roads, you know, some misunderstandings that they were trying to patch up and things of that nature. And I just think the stars lined up because, like you said, Luck, if you gonna get in the building with somebody who has the power to push a marketing budget on you, who has the power to help you spread your music around, you kind of want to be in there with somebody who understands lyricism if that's what you're selling, you know?
Right. And then, because you had told us earlier, so these tours, the biggest tours that you were telling us about, this is what you and your brothers and the group, like, y'all went over to Japan and all of these places together. Is that when, because I know that at first, when you guys first got together, it was sending records out, lay a verse, and then you guys built a brotherhood. Obviously, it came from touring and just recording with each other. Am I right?
Yeah, we started to bond. We started to bond on tour. We stayed on the road a lot. We was bonding, learning about each other, you know, and that's where it felt like we had a friendship. That's where it felt like we had a brotherhood, you know what I mean? But I guess it's kind of like whatever. You got to really chill with somebody for like a year or 2 years before you really know, you know what I'm saying? But a couple months on the road together, having some fun. Plus, we was wild back then. I'm 6 years sober right now, you know what I mean? But
praise God.
But back then, you know what I'm saying? We turning bottles up every night, you know what I mean? Everybody fully loaded. It was a frat house party, you know what I mean, on the stage. So a lot of stuff goes unnoticed because you in that zone, you know what I mean? But it was cool. It was definitely some good times. We did the Tech 9 tour.
Shout out Tech 9, #1 paid independent artist. Shout out Tech 9.
Shout out Tech 9. That tour right there made us men. You know what I'm saying? Because Tech 9 is a road warrior. Ain't nobody going on the road like Tech 9. I don't care who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like Tech 9, we had to do like 56 shows in like 60 days. You know what I'm saying? So we had like 4 days off. And those days was getting to the next town. Right. You feel me? So it wasn't like we was relaxed somewhere in a suite, nigga, watching Netflix. It was, you on the bus. You know what I mean? And we did those shows back to back, you know? And it was just like, yo, this dude is a beast. But it taught us a lot. You feel me? It taught us about the road. It taught us about, you know, performance, meet and greets, and, you know, how to preserve your energy for the next show. You know what I mean? Like, we learned a whole lot on the road. And yeah, you're right though. Long story. I mean, I made a drawn out answer, but you're right. You know, that's where the bond started. You know what I mean?
Because here on the Bacon, Egg, and Cheese Show, there go Babs. Here on the Bacon, Egg, and Cheese Show, we give flowers, and we definitely you know, we always want to learn about somebody's career and just you know, drop jewels and gems to people who are watching now live or when we, you know, put it out later. But I mean, like I said, you my brother. We were together all weekend, and I had no idea what was going on. I said, "Hey, that's the same outfit," you know what I mean? So tell us about the album that's out now, and then
when you first decided to name the album the Rise and Fall of Slaughterhouse, you already knew that was gonna bring some controversy. Like, how do you feel about the other two members and how they're receiving your album?
I look at it like if Michael Jordan did a documentary, I look at it like Scottie Pippen is gonna be in the doc, Steve Kerr is gonna be in the doc, you know, Phil Jackson is gonna be in the doc. You know, it's part of his story. You know what I mean? So if I tell a story about Slaughterhouse, there's gonna be mentions of all of the members. The camera is gonna pan on everybody because the story is about Slaughterhouse. Now, you know, a lot of it for me personally, not even for Joel, it was just that the last time we dropped the album, it was 2012. Okay, it's 2022. That was 10 years ago. You feel me? So in those 10 years, I kept trying to put the group back together. I took flights to New York to sit with Paul Rosenberg. I took flights to Detroit to sit with Eminem. I took flights to Detroit again to sit with Royce. I'm trying to put the group together. Royce say, come over here. We're going to make some music, and then we're going to finish a new album. All right, cool. I catch a flight. I'm staying out there for 2 weeks. I'm making music with them, you know, trying to put it together, you know. And all of the efforts, none of it really amounted to anything. So, and if it's not that's not my perspective, that's facts, because 10 years ago we released the album. 2022, there has been no album since. So it gotta be a reason for that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like all of the efforts, it just didn't work. And I finally had to accept that, you know what, this is over. I need to close the chapter on this in my life because it's bringing me low vibes. Every time I talk, another conference call, another this, it's bringing me low vibes. It's disturbing my mental peace. You know what I'm saying? So I need to close this chapter in my life. And I'm going to tell my story because since I was a kid, I went in the booth when I was 8 years old. That's the first time I ever spit a rap. I've been talking about my life in the booth since I was 8. This is a part and a chapter of my life. So I got all rights to talk about my life. You know what I mean? Now, if they don't like it, I can't be mad at that. You know, I ain't mad at that, but nobody is going to tell me I got to ask for permission to talk about my life. You know what I mean? Musically, because that's what I've been doing. When I left Death Row Records, I made a DVD called Life After Death Row. Okay. With a mixtape with it. You know what I'm saying? I talked about my situation on Death Row Records and how everything went. And y'all, this is what I do. This is my therapy. So it's like, yo, we gonna do this. This is over. You know, I brought a situation to the table just to give it one last shot. I didn't even, I maybe my laws of attraction, maybe I was so in doubt that it would happen that I was putting out, you know, the wrong frequency. You know what I mean? But I was like, yo, one more time. Here's a great deal, fellas. We could put the music out. It could come out through a system that has nothing to do with the universal system, because that's where all of the people who were opposing Joe, they were in the universal system. So I went to a whole nother system and said, all right, here's another system. They can't block you. They can't hate on you. Here's the deal. It's negotiable. Give me a call. You know, everybody called me but Joe. Joe said he didn't want to do the deal. I said, all right, well, tell Joe to call me so we can figure out why he doesn't want to do the deal, what he wants what does he want? They're like, well, we got to see the paperwork. Look, we're not going to go back and forth. I got juice with these people. You tell me what you want, and that's what we putting in the paperwork. So the first time I present the paperwork to you, it'll be closer to what your idea of a great situation is. All this back and forth, that's crazy. Just give me a call. He never ring my phone, never called me. Weeks and weeks and months went by and the deal just disappeared. You know what I'm saying?
It was weird, you know, because I had to watch these things last night, and you know me, I don't like any trouble. But you know, one thing that struck me as odd is Joe said, "I'm bigger than everything that you guys are doing." And I'm bigger than that, you know. And we all know that the podcast world has been, you know, very kind to Joe and what he's doing over there. But I feel like as a family, that's something that somebody shouldn't say. But somebody in the comments asked, would you do like Otis, and would you replace them like they did in the Temptations? Have you guys considered?
Yo, my phone been blowing up with people saying, yo, let me step in there. You know what I'm saying? They like, yo, let me step in there. But it's not, I don't want the Slaughterhouse brand anymore. Right. I want it out of my life. I don't want it. So they could do whatever they want with the Slaughterhouse brand. They could go get another member to replace me. You'll hear, I won't be bitter. I don't have no problems with that. I want to close that chapter in my life. I don't want to open it. I don't want to keep it up. So yeah, I mean,
is there potential that you and Joel might just formulate a duo and move forward as that
album dropped 311?
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying, but is that like the continuation, like after now the continue on with that, or is this you guys saying your piece and then you're gonna go do your thing, Joel's gonna do his thing, and whatever the other two decide, what have you, the chips are gonna fall where they may, or are you and Joel now becoming your own entity?
I believe, me and Joel dropped a joint EP together called Hard. We did this right when the pandemic hit. So it kind of went under the radar because when the pandemic hit the country, everybody was kind of shook. You couldn't even get people to come out the house. It was quarantines. We couldn't get videos done. We couldn't get nothing done. So I was in New York, rest in peace, Fred the Godson.
Yeah. Oh, guy.
Fred was in the sessions with us on every song that we made. You know what I'm saying? And we did this joint called Hard. And you know, the pandemic it threw a monkey wrench in our promo plans. We couldn't roll it out how we wanted to. We couldn't do anything. So
was that with
this is actually the second one.
Was you guys working with Heat Makers? Was it
we was with the Heat Maker. Shout out Arsonist.
Yeah, you know don't leave my bro out this combo.
You know what I mean? Shout out Arsonist, man. You know, Shout out all the rap connoisseurs in the house right now. And I'm going to even shout out this kid right here who think that I'm capping right now. What's his name? Magic Mariachi. Shout out to you. You know what I'm saying?
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Did Joe and Royce know that you felt the way that you feel, that you was done with Slaughterhouse, that you felt like it was over because you burning the Slaughterhouse logo? Did they know before y'all released this that this is how you felt?
So what I did was I went back when Joe said he didn't want to do it. This was my final attempt. So Joe said he didn't want to do it. I said, all right. I asked Royce, you want to do it, just us three? You know what I mean? And he was like, he don't want to do nothing Slaughterhouse without all 4 members. So that, that's no. That means no. You know what I mean? And, Joel was on the phone. And it was real tough to hear that because I was like, look, Joe has publicly retired.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he has stayed pretty true to that retirement. I haven't heard him rap one time since he retired.
He don't even take pictures no more. I seen him at the Remy battle. He's like, I'm not even here to take pictures.
He don't even wrap Christmas presents no more.
Yeah, Joe has changed. But I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so he doesn't rap. And he's telling Royce, yeah, I'll rap. He's not, I don't believe that. And when he said he didn't want to do it or whatever, for whatever reasons, I'm not going to go, I don't know, shit. Whatever reasons you don't want to do it. And let me just be real clear right now. If we got business on the table, communications is rule number 1. If you're not communicating, you don't even have the position.
Now, may I speak? Now, me and Joe, we've had our shit. We both from Jersey. His mother and my mother, they talk on the phone all of the time, right. But I come from Joe's perspective. Now, I can't speak for him, but I'm just guessing. Sometimes the music industry breaks your heart. Right. And sometimes, so for him to go be extremely successful with the podcast scene, which would probably be the success that he wanted as a rapper, just like with 50 Cent. When 50 Cent dropped the vitamin water, he's like, man, fuck y'all. You know what I'm saying? He sat down on stage and said, you know what I mean? Vitamin water. So, and I like, again, I don't want to speak for Joe because, I have a hate relationship with Joe. But what I would say is that maybe from that end, it was like, yo, I got the bag here. So it's like, I'm going to retire rapping because rapping never got him, even though they both go together. And rapping didn't get him a check like him talking all day.
He's supposed to stay focused and pump it up. You heard? So from what I gathered from the live that I watched was Joe and Royce were saying that they never actually had turned down the deal. It really seemed like Joe wanted you guys to be on his heels and he wanted you to continuously follow up and say, hey, the deal, we need the deal. What are you going to do about the deal? Because he was making it seem as though he didn't get more detailing and that he never said no. He might have came out of retirement. Maybe he might have Jay-Z'd us and, tricked us and he would have unretired.
Nah, he's a diva now. But go ahead.
And then it feels as though he's Beyonce, and Royce was definitely giving all types of Kelly energy. He was holding himself back from saying things, and he was definitely supporting. Like he said, he wasn't going to do it if Joe wasn't going to do it. But you could tell that they now have feelings behind it. You could tell they have some kind of regret, and hopefully you guys you can come to some kind of resolve. But you could tell that they did want to do it, but they wanted a chase. It's like the girl that has an attitude with her boyfriend. You like, what's wrong? She's like, nothing. But something. She hungry, something. She wants you to chase her and figure out, are you hungry? You tired? You want a back massage? And that's what Joe wanted. He wanted somebody to, coddle him. It feels like and nurse his feelings on coming back into the industry because, he's from New Jersey.
I mean, if he was looking for that, that might have happened 10 years ago. I might have been like, yo, man, let's do it, because that was my energy 10 years ago. But now my energy is, we too old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You either want to do it or you don't. You know what I mean?
That's the part that rubbed me wrong, to say the part that, and I don't normally give this much opinion, but I had to watch everything because I'm fans of all you guys. I've worked with you guys one way or another, you know, with everybody in the group. So I am in this hip hop thing. And the only thing, you know, with the interview, it sounded like, one, it's a lot of miscommunication, and there's nothing wrong with a mediator to come involved. I think ego definitely played a part on Joey's part. You know what I mean? For him to say, I'm bigger than everything that you guys are doing right now. I didn't think that was cool. And
Ego.
yeah, ego. And then, you know, I watched everything last night, and I will say, to not even put too much, you know, attention on it. I just think that you guys have an amazing album dropping Friday. It's a story to be told. It's the rise and fall, and you know, sometimes people can bounce back. But I'm thankful that you guys opened up the dialogue. Of course, all of us, it's like we were flies on the wall for the first time in our lives, because you guys, everybody did everything on live. But I feel like, you know, with such a successful group, I think that you guys, it's really a lot of miscommunication. And of course, there's other things in the background.
And hurt. You could tell they're hurt, Dr. Love.
It's a lot of miscommunications. Look, and it's been this way for years. You see what I mean?
Difficult.
So when you know, sometimes when you're trying to be the best version of yourself, you got to cut things out of your life. I mean, you can't just keep living around triggers. You know what I'm saying? It's just not, it's not healthy. So it's funny that we talking about Slaughterhouse now, because, you know, we talking about it because of the album. And now all of a sudden there's so much passion for Slaughterhouse. Where was that passion while those 10 years were passing by and I was behind the scenes trying to put it together?
Right.
Where was that passion? Now there's passion because this album and this title and burning shirts. And let me just get to that real quick, because a lot of people mention the burning of the shirts. When LeBron left Cleveland, his fans burned his jersey.
Yeah.
That's what that symbolized.
Mm-hmm.
I'm leaving, I'm moving on. They were mad at me burning that's why they were burning the shirts on the video. They're mad that I'm moving on and closing that chapter in my life. And it symbolized that. You know what I'm saying? And when I say things like, you know, I gotta get rid of Slaughterhouse out of my life, that's just me being 1,000. I'm no longer allowing anything in my environment that doesn't match my energy, period. If I'm over here trying to create bags and good vibes for my people and they not doing that same thing for me, adios. I don't got time to play no game. So, you know, my whole thing is this. They can go and use Slaughterhouse. They can go and make music. They will make some great music together. You know what I mean? They could go do whatever they want to. They're not going to hear two sentences out of me about any of it. I'm relinquishing my ownership, you know, in that logo and all that kind of stuff. Whatever I got, y'all use it. You're not going to get me knocking on your door. Yo, I need a check. Y'all just use. Nah, go ahead. Y'all help build that house too. You know what I mean? Go tell your stories. You feel me? And it's all good. I mean, I heard some things on those lives that was not true. You feel me? But I choose to, anytime somebody attacks me or my character, I just choose to respond with truth.
Well,
Can I say this? Can I say this, please? Okay. So, you know, I was in a group before. And so I know what it feels like to be in a group. You know, everybody comes from different walks of life, because, you know, that's what it is.
Different mental problems too.
This is what
different traumas.
This is what I'm saying. And so at the end of the day, I know how it feels, you know, and also to come together, and even though y'all came from different walks of life, y'all came together and y'all did something great. And at the end of the day, years go by and you're trying to figure it out. So for instance, with me, over the years, we done had people reach out, yo, we want to do a band reunion. We want to come together. Everybody's not on the same page. Everybody's going through different things in their life. Some people feel like they don't want to do it. Some people feel like they want to do it. Some people feel like they need to do it. And some people like, I don't need it. So at the end of the day, I felt like within my group that we had built a family, that we had a friendship. I don't know about everybody else's groups, but I felt like that. And when certain people wasn't on the same page as me, because for me, I needed the money. And so that was my reason for wanting to go back on tour after all of these years. I need this bread. I'm a mother, you know what I'm saying? I got to pay bills. Shit is real out here. I need this money. Somebody in the group felt like They ain't need the money.
Yeah, they
you know
on.
what I'm saying? they ain't need the money. They good. And so for me, after having this one-on-one conversation, that's why I had asked you, did they know how you felt? Because for me, when I spoke to my group member and I told my group member why I wanted to do it, why I needed to do it, and he still spent the block and said, I'm good, I felt like he was saying, fuck you, fuck your kid, I don't care, because it ain't no iron team, my nigga.
You said
Ain't
he?
no
You
iron.
said he? It's
Ain't
like
no,
playing Guess
ain't no
Who, okay?
iron team.
Not,
Ain't no
not.
iron we. You know what I'm saying? And once I had this heart-to-heart conversation with you and kept it a buck, because it was a question he asked me. He said, Babs, why do you want to do this? And so once he asked me and I told him, and then he still said, I don't want to do it, but you're supposed to be my friend, my brother. At the end of the day, my kid is your nephew.
Right.
You know
Right.
what I mean? And so regardless of the fact if you don't want to do it, can you do it? You might not need to do it for you, but you need to do it for us. You shitting on 5 other motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I felt. So that's why I
Did you want to chop him out of your life after that?
So that's why I had asked you. Listen, at the end of the day, I was on some fuck you shit, because I felt like you said fuck me, so I said fuck you. So at the end of the day, that's why I had asked, did y'all have those one-on-one
Did you kick him out the nest?
Did y'all have these one-on-one conversations before it led to you? Did they know exactly how you feel that you had that, and then, you know, you did what you did? Because I feel like for my group member, if he feel any type of way about anything that I have to say, like, my nigga, I already had these conversations with you up front, my guy.
Did you have a talk conversation with him 5
the-
times?
Hold
A
on,
top
hold
5
on.
conversation with him?
Yo,
or
I
is he
didn't
pushing
have-
P?
I didn't have these conversations with you. And so at the end of the day, I don't fuck with you, and I could say it on any platform and not give a fuck about it, my nigga, because you know what it's hitting for.
All right.
So, okay, well,
Yeah.
Okay.
and do
I
you
fuck
agree
with that energy, though. That's
sir,
real.
with being in the groups?
Wait. What'd you say, Crook?
I say I fuck with that energy because it's real. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you know, we've had many, many, many conversations. You know what I'm saying? And I fuck with that shit because, look, they talking about this bag. You know, oh man, y'all guys, he's doing it for the do it. You sold us out for a bag, man. Listen, I am the epitome of my brother's keeper. You know what I'm saying? And if anybody, I got your back. With you know, we throwing hammers and wrenches in the trenches. You feel me? Period. And that's a big insult. That's a sign of disrespect. For you to come and really question my character after all the times that we talked and we had these conversations, and you already know where I'm at mentally, you know, that's cool though. I mean, I feel like that the move caught them off guard because they probably didn't think that me and Joel would actually do something. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, I think that really there's a lot of times when they made us feel like we wasn't equals in a group. You see what I'm saying? And when somebody don't even have the decency to call you back and business is on the table, he definitely don't feel you his equal.
Mm-hmm.
You hear me? So even though I came in the group as a big boss, owning half of a jewelry store, you know, and handling my business, you know what I mean? That didn't matter. So it's like I never treated them like they weren't equals. You feel me? Even when I had all the power on the West Coast and, you know, the Wu-Tang thing popped off and I had to come, you know, have Joe's back, you know what I mean?
We remember that, Joe. We remember they laid hands on you, Joe.
You know, and I had to bring, you know, 30 East Siders with me, you know what I mean, to have his back, you know what I mean, and try to discuss and get the videotape and all that kind of shit. You know, like this is real solid shit.
We remember that, Joe.
You know what I mean? So they can't really say that I wasn't there. They can't never say that I didn't, you know, stay in the trenches with them. And to not be treated as an equal, but to be expected to do business with somebody who doesn't want to see you as, you know, an equal, to me, that's crazy. That's insulting. and he talks all this paperwork stuff, and it's like, yo, bro, listen, we seen what happened with Marl and Rory. You know what I mean? Like let's just stop. Let's stop playing games here, man. We all grown. Let's stop playing games. You know what I mean?
And don't forget Clarissa, the first girl, Marissa, whatever. The other, you can't keep a co-host, baby.
Now they writing names in the comments. Ransom.
Lord.
Listen,
yeah,
what
but
I will say.
I'm not here.
Let me just say this. Joe had a drug addiction. And Joe's
Yo, wait, hold up, love. Like, not for nothing. This is some real shit. I don't need to cut you off. No disrespect. Because I totally get it. I lived it. I lived being in the group. I lived the group popping. I lived the group. Niggas ain't doing shit. Everybody doing their own thing. Cause. Yo, I got a show for y'all. I got a bag for y'all. I got a bag for y'all. I got a bag for y'all. And I want my money. And niggas is acting funny. So at the end of the day,
Yo, listen real quick, not to cut you off, Queen. I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead, Crooked.
I'm not here.
Wait.
I'm not here.
Tell them niggas why you mad. So tell them niggas why you mad.
I'm not here to assassinate nobody's character. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. I promise you. I come from my intentions are pure. I'm aligned with my truth right now. I'm not here to bash nobody.
I didn't get a chance to finish.
I'm not here to bash nobody. I'm not here. I know you wasn't doing bash them. I'm just reading some of these comments, and I'm just letting these people know.
We don't read the comments. Don't worry about that.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm not here.
Yeah.
I'm not
Keep the
here
comments going.
I'm not here to do none of that. You feel me? I'm here to let it be known what my perspective is from all the information that's been put out there and what my mindset was going into this project. I wanted to talk about something that I've been through that's on my mind. I wanted to get it out of my mind, off my chest, so I can move on to another chapter in my life. That's it.
And my other side of it was like I wasn't bashing. Me, I like to look at us all as human beings. So what I'm saying is we even seen it with some of the legacy groups that we've had. Like things happen, there's misunderstandings. People are at different points in their life mentally. And then later on, it might be it's not right now, but yo, bro, I was going through this. Or bro, I saw it like this. Or bro, I was on this. That's all I'm saying. Because I'm from the Sugar Hill era. So I watched the Sugar Hill gang break up. They don't speak for years. And now they on tour. So that was the place that I was coming from. I'm not here to bash anybody. I show love to everybody. I just said that, like, you know, just from watching the videos, it's miscommunication. But like, according to Babs, there's thousands of calls. You know, so everybody is where they at now.
I'm just saying overall, because somebody in the comments said, whose side are you on? I ain't on no side.
I'm on the side of hip hop.
I'm just talking from a group perspective. From being inside of a group, everybody got their own feelings. Chopper did not have to go and do the tour if he didn't want to do the tour. But
Fired!
All right,
I have to still fuck with him after that?
All right, wait, time out.
Hold up. Hold up.
Okay.
Do I still have to fuck with him after that? No. So he has his own rights. He's not wrong. This is not about wrong or right. This is about life, and that's just what it is. And so you got your own right to say I don't want to do it, okay? And I got my own right to say I ain't fucking with you, and that's just it.
Okay, yeah. Who did beats on the album? Who are the producers on the album?
Okay, on the album we have Heat Makers. You feel me? You know what I mean? We got Hassami with the Tommy. We got DJ Silk. Now DJ Silk has been an aftermath producer. He's been like one of Dr. Dre's right-hand man for 15 years. So I wanted to make sure I brought my brother Silk into the game and into the project because he just has knowledge of production, sound, sonics, all that kind of shit. So it makes a big difference. Who else we had on there? DJ Payne 1, you know what I mean? And my brother Divine, Fong Say You, so Sai You, Fong Sai You. So it's a real good body of work. And I think when people hear the body of work, they'll hear the honesty. They'll hear, the vulnerability. and they'll hear about the good times. They'll hear about what we perceived as bad times, and they'll hear about, you know, what we plan to do in the future. And it's really a great body of work. You know what I mean? It is.
Yo, I believe you because you've been in the industry for so long, and I understand where you're coming from when you're writing chapters and, you know, you're moving on and you're doing different things. And I think this is more of an art form than regular, you know, you guys should think about NFTs next, because I think it's more of an art form telling your part of the story and then,
Right.
you know, putting it out there. So I definitely appreciate you, you know, coming on the show and just telling us all about this. And like I said, I want to hook you up with Mims because he's in the NFTs, in the metaverse.
Word.
Babs is on it. Babs
Word.
got a movie that she's
I
writing.
do.
And I'm not
Word.
Hold up, Crooked. Let me say this. I watched that fucking video. I was telling Luck earlier because when she said, yeah, because, you know, I got this record with Crooked, I said, you better not have let him body you on this record.
How can somebody body Luck? Luck come on there with that voice
yo,
and just start breaking shit down. I'm heavyweight.
Listen, when I'm listening, I'm watching the video, but the whole time my head is like this. Okay? And because you just spitting. You just
Yeah,
spitting.
thank you.
So, you know, I'm just like, yo, that's why I told Luck, I said, yo, when somebody make you do this, you just stuck. It's like you don't even realize. You like, 'cause it's just boom, 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 boom. So at the end of the day, I just wanted to let you know that the new record, I love it. I love the delivery. I love the flow. I'm sad to see that, you know, this is going on with Slaughterhouse because, you know, like I said, the group shit, the memories, everything that, you know, you built as a group. And hopefully that y'all could get right in the future. But on another note, the record is fire. If y'all haven't seen the video, make sure y'all go check out the video. It's out right now. The shit is at something million views. I said, yo, I got to link with this nigga because his views is up, okay?
Yeah.
That's quick.
Let's get it.
Wait a minute, what's going on here? And so at the end of the day, it's a fire record, and I just love the flow and the delivery and the content. Dope shit.
I love ending on a good note. But
Thank you.
Ryan
That's what's
in the
up.
comments is asking me too many questions, so I want to say this. I watched something on what's my guy's name? Skills, Mass Skills. Mass Skills had a meme up where basically it was Kanye West, and you watch the documentary right now, Genius, how much Talib Kweli and Mos Def helped his career. And how they opened up every resource that they had, let my man come on stage and really tried to get him a record deal.
Right.
Then the next slide was Kanye on Drink Champs. Talib, I'm sorry, I never fucked with your rhyme skills. And no, and then he actually made a joke, said he was using them.
Right.
I'm not saying these people who are not agreeing to move on to the next level was using anybody, but maybe at that point in time in their career, they needed what was going on. And now that other things are occurring, they feel differently.
That could be it. And let me tell you something. I still fuck with their music. You know, I'm not going to get on here because I'm not in Slaughterhouse and say Royce don't make amazing music. I ain't gonna say Move Music was an amazing series from Joe Budden. You know what I mean? See, to me, if everybody is honest, maybe one day we could get to that level where we can all talk. But we can't talk until honesty walks in the room. That's for me. We gotta be super truthful about everything. And what I've been seeing has not been a lot of truth. There's been some truths, but you can't dilute it. You know, Rakim told us that on Follow the Leader. It can't be mixed or diluted. You feel me? So you got to tell the straight truth, the facts. We got to hold ourselves accountable. You know, I was drunk half the time, cussing motherfuckers out sometimes. You know what I mean? And fucking up some of the energy in important times. You feel me? So I take responsibility for that. You know what I mean? And it's like everybody got to take accountability for the roles that they played. And I'm not finna try to tell people what they did. I'm just going to tell you how I perceived your actions. And at the end of the day, words, they could be beautiful. Words matter. I live in a world of words my whole life. Doing this, spitting freestyles. Words mean a lot to me, but actions mean more. It's been 10 years. We haven't had no movement on it. Now we getting movement on it because of what, you know, the move I made. And
I love it.
Hey, I just wanna get out there with the music, get out there with the art, you know what I mean? And have the people get a fan something. I really did this for the fans, and that's what people like. They like,
They
oh, you
deserve
got a
it.
bag. This is for the fans. Y'all don't understand. Everywhere I go, into the grocery store, into the mall, into the Foot Locker, everybody asks me, yo, what's up with Slaughterhouse? Why didn't it go down? Why we never got Glass House? Why didn't we never see you guys touring again? Why? Okay, well, here's your answers from my perspective. Those other two gentlemen, they're free to give the answers from their perspective. You're not going to hear nothing come out of me. My slogan is rap about it. Just go in there and rap about it. And we going to be straight. You're not going to, they could go in there and say whatever they want to say, dog. It don't matter to me. You know what I mean? Because I'm moving forward. I'm every day with the audio books, the meditation, the visualization, the eating plants and all that kind of shit. I'm trying to better myself right now. And if it's a trigger, if it's something that's going to take me backwards, I can't have it. Just for me, I can't have that. You know what I mean? So it's all good. And like you say, ending on a good note, love, the album is fire.
Talk about it.
Flowing out here. You know what I mean? But the album is fire. I don't care. You got to hear the album.
And before the album drop, make sure that y'all stream Woke Don't Mean Broke, because me and Crook got some plaques when we went down there. Shout out to Billy Carson.
Hey,
he's going to be on the show.
Look, I was so proud of you when we was in Florida this weekend. Yo, Luck got them knowledge bars. You know what I'm saying? She was having conversations. She talking about everything. I'm like, what? Hold up, man. You know what I'm saying? Like you really, man, you on the
Billy
studies.
Talking.
That's
grown
lady love. That's
how I found Billy
right
Carson.
there.
But that's how I found Billy Carson, because I jumped down the rabbit hole. So, and I said, now don't go sound stupid down there when you sitting with.
Nah, you was on point.
Sound stupid when you sit with this man. So I remember we all at the table. We all eating, and then at one point I said something, and then Cook even turned. I saw his head turn, like, all right, look. I said, yeah, I've been on my
yeah. High vibrations. High vibrations, for real.
Yeah, don't go down there sounding stupid. Now, we had a great time in Florida this weekend. We shot the video for Woke Don't Mean Broke. Shout out to Donnie Arcade. That's my guy. Shout out to Billy Carson. We had a great time out there. You know, we had our ladies. Our ladies is looking good. They had high class. It was nothing but ghosts and Maybach. So we had a great time. We had a chef breakfast at the Ritz-Carlton. Okay? I was there.
Next time you do a video and I'm not there, we got beef, B. And that's on everything.
That's how this show even got started, Crook, because she was telling me she wanted to do a podcast. I was doing one with Miss Lissa, and then Bab started threatening me. She's always threatening me. Okay?
Man, come on, Bab.
Yo, but we definitely appreciate you.
You gotta muscle your way in, Crook. You know how that is. It's a love threat. It's a love
Yeah.
Now she means she from Brooklyn, but she from Brooklyn. Well,
like show me you care. Show me your thrill. Show me your love.
Yeah, show me.
No, she definitely did. But yo, Crook, you are a legend in this game. You are definitely a legend on the West Coast. You put it down for the West Coast. This, like you said, this is another chapter in your life. I'm being positive. You know, maybe a mediator, maybe prayer, maybe this whole thing that happened, whatever the devil meant for evil, God will make good. So maybe this whole situation will be the one that gets the conversation started. But whatever it is, I wish you guys much peace, love, and success. And Joel, I love Joel. I love you. What up,
Thank you.
Joe?
Love you too.
And I love Royce. So, it's been a long time that I've known everybody. So we definitely appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure y'all stream Woke Don't Mean Broke. It's out right now. And make sure Friday y'all get all y'all copies. And we definitely going to link up to do the to talk about NFTs with Mims later on.
Yes,
all right,
thank you so much. Thank you so much for this exclusive. This is the crooked. Listen, this is the fucking exclusive. Let's go, love.
Let's go.
Crooked Eyes, my guy. Forever though. I'm talking MySpace days, guys. I'm talking about when he had the white tuxedo. Okay?
Yeah, we go back like the seats in the Cadillac, for real.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you for joining the show. Tell everybody I said what's up, man. It's much love. I'm gonna hit you later on, man.
Yo, shout out Krishna. I see you, boy. Maria. I see y'all.